Every club.
Every day.
The Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome to the Daily Brighton podcast. It is your boy, Jamie G, joined by Joe Richardson and Blessings Chibamba. Boy, what a weekend it's been. Brighton through to the next round of the FA Cup. Vengeance against Chelsea over avenging that 4-2 loss we had earlier in the season. The Seagulls have also risen and bounced back from the embarrassing 7-0 loss. What a time to be alive. A competition we could still win. And we have truly stuck it to Cucurella, Sanchez, Caicedo. Have that, you traitors. Am I right, guys? Guys, let me get your thoughts on the game. Bless,
Love that.
you were there. Let me know what the atmosphere was like and what your thoughts were on the game.
Yeah, no, firstly, honourable shout out to the pies there. They do good pies. I had a chicken and gammon and a few pints as well.
He tried
chicken and gammon pie?
Yeah, chicken and gammon. It was decent.
That's chicken and seagull, lad. That's mad.
But in terms on the pitch, I think Brighton were really impressive. You can tell they've definitely had a bit of a kick in from Hertzler, and they were actually structured and quite disciplined at times as well. I think my main concern again was going to be the midfield or the lack of midfield, and to see Belieber back in definitely made a massive impact to how everyone felt at the start of the game.
Yeah, Belieber and Hincherwood, I actually felt played pretty like they were very solid in that midfield together, which is like you said on the preview pod, that was kind of where the battle was going to be won and lost. How they could stop Palmer, how they could kind of control Caicedo, and then we also my shout out of Kieran Drewsbury Hall actually started. That was a pat on the back for me. Joe, what did you think of Hincherwood and Belieber's performance?
Oh, mate, the difference that it makes having Belieber in there, mate, it is insane. Because with him, it's not even. And don't get me wrong, like we speak about him so highly on here. Loads of people also outside of Brighton and other teams are sort of like looking at him and sort of thinking like, okay, this guy's going to be he's going to move soon, basically. But like, it's not. He does have some moments where he's like a little bit. He makes a little bit of like silly decisions sometimes, but the just general like sort of change that it has on our team when he plays, like he can get the ball under pressure, turn, and then literally start a complete just start the attack on his own. Like one pass into him, he turns out, evades pressure, and then next thing you know, we're on the attack. And I mean, even though he's willing to sort of do that dirty work himself, he does need someone in there. I am still, this is going to be a bit of a hot take, I am still wondering what Jack Hincherwood actually does and like what sort of actual like the profile midfielder that he is. Because with Ayari, I feel like Ayari has more technical ability, but also loves to get himself around as well. Whereas like Hincherwood, I feel like is sort of just okay at everything. Do you know what I mean? Like he's just okay at everything, but that complements being next to Belieber anyway. It was a better performance from Hincherwood, to be fair. Something that we've been waiting to see for a long time. And I mean, to be fair play to him for playing in all the different positions and stuff like that. But it was so much better than it was against Forest, honestly. But I mean, me, you, and Bless in the midfield three would probably do a better job, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. So it is good. It is nice to see some actual structure. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I think that's you mentioned what does Hincherwood kind of bring. I was trying to find. I was also like during the game trying to like think what does he do, and I think he didn't give the ball away basically the entire game. I think he maybe was. I can remember one time he actually lost the ball, and I should probably check the stats on that, but. Yeah, I feel like he just keeps things ticking, and that's kind of what he's there for. Belieber's there as like the gem to get moves going, to break up play, and also, like you say, boy, what a difference it makes to have him alongside and like him back into the lineup because there was so much more discipline, so much more structure to that midfield than we saw against Nottingham Forest, although it wasn't hard. And Hincherwood definitely needs someone to play. He can't be the Rodri type where he plays in
Absolutely
that
not.
position by himself. Like, he is nowhere near that standard. But alongside someone that can do a lot of the work alongside him, then I think that's where he does kind of shine. So I feel like his positioning, his discipline, I think they were very, both Belieber and Hincherwood, like, supported the defence this game so well, because Chelsea only had 7 shots if you look at the stats. And there wasn't really many times I ever felt like they were our goal was under threat, or they had like a real clear-cut chance. I mean, their goal comes, we'll talk about that in a minute, their goal comes from basically nothing. But
Cole
I
Palmer
feel
was
like that,
peak, though. I'm not going to lie. Cole Palmer was ass that game.
yeah, exactly. And maybe that's because Hincherwood and Belieber. Maybe we give ourselves some credit here and there. But yeah, I feel like they were just, this game we were very much more, let's try and defend a win. Let's try and play really structured, really disciplined. And then just do them on the counter attack as well. I felt like, and that really worked today. Bless, how did you see it?
Yeah, I thought first couple of minutes there was sort of a feeling of nerves in terms of just the result was just come back off. But they settled down quite quickly. And I thought one thing I was really impressed, I know, Joe, you've highlighted Hincherwood. Again, I spotted some really neat passes as well in there, just really fizzing the ball, looking after it. And I don't mind a sort of all-rounder kind of midfielder who just sort of works up and down in both boxes. I think maybe if he added maybe some goals to his game, then it makes him, stand out a little bit more. But yeah, he seems like he does all the little things correctly and never really stands out because he doesn't do anything to wow you, but he's doing all the little things really well, which is really good. Again, as well, yeah, I don't really recall a lot of Chelsea chances or Brighton being under siege at all. I thought it was a really, really disciplined performance from the Seagulls, to be honest.
Yeah, one thing you touched on there is how nervous they were to begin with. I kind of felt that. And one person that looked particularly nervous was Vibruggen. And Joe, let's get your opinion on the goal. What an absolute howler from Vibruggen to start things off. 5 minutes in, after a 7-0 loss, I was thinking when that went in, not again. Please, not again. What were you thinking?
Yeah, it's just come from nothing, really. It's just a ball over the top from Palmer, and then, mate, at the moment, he can't catch a cold. But at the moment, all of so the mistakes that I've seen from him have been sort of like the holy trinity of mistakes. So it's like handling of a ball, and then the passing, and then also being beaten at your near post and some shot stopping errors, which are shot stopping errors are probably the least common one that you'll see, because in the Premier League, most goalkeepers, even some of the ones who are really prone to mistakes, don't make loads of mistakes in terms of weak, sort of hitting it away, saving it weak, and then it goes in anyway or whatever. And yeah, it just seems that he's a bit devoid of confidence at the moment. I was thinking about it when we were speaking in our group chat about it. I was thinking it reminds me at the moment he's reminding me a little bit of Aaron Ramsdale. Do you know when Aaron Ramsdale has those? I know, that's exactly. And I don't rate Aaron Ramsdale at all. I've never rated him. I never thought he was good. But it's just that Aaron Ramsdale does have that really big save in him, that really good save in him. And Vibruggen still has that, but it's just really poor errors, and it must just be from the form of the team in general and the defence being under siege a lot more, and obviously sort of coming off the back of probably a couple mistakes in the last few weeks. So yeah, it wasn't great. He's also when he's made contact with catching the ball is not going in the goal.
Yeah.
So the ball has ended up in the goal from not going anywhere near the goal.
Yeah.
It was going to come across the face. He's tried to bring it into his chest, and it's hit a nipple and just gone in, mate.
Yeah, it was actually it came from absolutely nothing. That's the most infuriating thing. It was like a square ball Palmer put in there. No one else was in there, and it's such an easy claim. Like, especially for Premier League standards, it's an easy claim for Sunday League standards. To be honest, that's the only place you should see that kind of mistake. National League, I think they stamp that out, and then to see it in the Premier League, that is just, like you say, he's so void of confidence. Bless, what was the atmosphere like in the stadium when that went in? Did all the fans' heads go down?
Yeah, I did fear it was going to turn sour because it is a massive mistake, and everyone sort of you can't really hide anywhere when you're a goalkeeper. But the fans didn't turn sour; they carried on supporting, and I think the most important thing was not to obviously concede another one, or maybe start sitting back and letting Chelsea pile on more pressure. I think they kept quite steady and kept their nerve to then create a chance to get back into the game, which was impressive, to be honest, because quite early on, a massive mistake. Yeah, it didn't feel like a great start, to be honest.
Yeah, and good to see that they were still supportive, because it was a quick response by the Seagulls, and we will touch on that goal after
Here
this break.
At the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out as the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start a podcast that sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the description to learn more about Zencastr.
And we are back with the Daily Brighton podcast. I mentioned that quick response. It was 11 minutes in, and Rutter levelled the playing field. He got the equaliser, and what a header it was. Bless, I'll come to you. What did you make of the goal?
Yeah, I thought it was a brilliant finish. Really good header. We've spoken a lot about Ritter and wanting him to actually start scoring some goals and contributing in attacking position. So I was really impressed with the finish. And it's exactly, I think the timing was really important as well. It's exactly what we sort of needed to just sort of move on from that error at the back and be on level terms before the break. It was really important, I thought. I don't know. It's a weird one. I always thought it was good in the air, but we haven't really seen much of it. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, well, because I thought that as well when he scored the header. He took it so well. I looked up when his last headed goal was. It was against Chelsea in that 4-2 loss.
You love a stat, mate.
I love it, mate. The background.
Where'd you
it
find
was against
that?
Chelsea, the 4-2 loss. I mean, he loves scoring against Chelsea, and Chelsea seemingly can't defend Rutter headers. Joe, what did you think of the goal?
No, it's a class goal, to be fair. Like, it's very difficult to sort of I'm not going to say what I was originally going to say. It's quite like I was going to say it. It's quite like difficult to manipulate your neck like that.
Yeah, nice. That's an interesting saying.
Yeah, nice as well.
Pause. We're such children, by the way. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so like, it's really hard to do that. So but like the finish is excellent. I'm rattled when I'm saying excellent. I've never said that before in my life. It was a really good finish, mate. Yeah. And do you know what? He actually, on terms of Ritter anyway, not being serious, he actually reminds me a little bit of this is going to be a mad shout. Stop me if I'm wrong, but he reminds me a little bit of Cunha, just the sort of like style of player that he is. Like, he likes to drop in deep, find it in like little wide pockets. He can beat a player. He's quite a powerful runner. He's awful at tackling. I've never seen anyone maybe as bad at tackling as him, mate, because he just throws his whole body into challenges, mate. And then when the ref blows up, he's like, mate, what? But he's really taken well to the fans love him. He's actually really funny as well in like loads of the like social media clips I've seen. He really understands like the sort of way that we take to our players. And hopefully he sort of finds a little bit more goal scoring, and you can't really ask anything more because he works so hard off the ball. He keeps the ball. He can beat a couple man, so it's exciting to watch. But he just needs to score a little bit more, and then it's calm.
Yeah, I actually thought it was an interesting decision as well. And I might have been I was kind of shocked by it, but then I guess not too shocked based on the result we just had, that he started and Pedro didn't. But I don't know whether that was because I thought Pedro was like terrible against Nottingham Forest, and maybe that was Hertzler dropped him on performance, or maybe Hertzler just wanted rotation for the FA Cup. But then, because you could kind of say they were both just as bad as each other against
Ritter wasn't as bad. I don't think Pedro wasn't even in the game at all.
I think with Rutter, it's the work rate that's really important. With Pedro against Forest, he did not track. He did not work hard enough.
No. I feel like João Pedro's low key 1 foot out the door, mate. I'll be honest.
Is he on fraud watch?
I'm putting on fraud
watch. He's on fraud watch, but
got to keep an eye out on it.
But you can't be on fraud watch when you're trying to plot a move to go somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? Like, you actually just can't be, mate. Because Evan Ferguson's on fraud watch, and look at his value now. It's at West Ham.
He's basically out the door, to be fair.
But
who needs him when you've got the £90 million man to score goals as well? Maybe he's coming into some form. Matoma got us the winner.
Oh, man, I was so confused then as to what you were saying.
I was trying to segue, but it didn't.
No, it's actually a good segue, to be
fair. What a lovely little chip that was. And that was made by Ritter. So Ritter with a goal and assist today.
Shout out Ritter, mate.
Mate, what a performance. And we'll touch on him a bit in the next segment as well, just to heap on some more.
Surely a pause there. Where's the pause? Why are you touching on him?
But let's just take this away from me before I say anything else sus. What did you make of the second goal, the winner?
Yeah, Matoma's a little bit like Ritter for me as well. Another player we can see star quality in them, but it's just not consistent. So for him to get on the score sheet in a big game and actually be decisive in a game that like that was really good to see. The assist as well was really nice, and it was a calm finish, class finish. Little dink over Sanchez, he was shocking as well. To be fair,
shock horror.
He's
generally one of the worst goalkeepers in the league.
He got booed quite a lot. Cucurella got it the worst, probably.
Cucurella got clamped by Veltman, mate. What a time.
Deserved it.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, because so Veltman's come away with an assist, and that's basically a goal, that tackle. Absolutely nowhere near the ball. Anyway, sorry, go on, mate.
Yeah. He's nowhere near the ball, and acted like, really?
Yeah.
You got to do that. They all do it, though, don't they?
Yeah.
But I've said it before, does Matoma have the best first touch in the whole world? He did it. He pulled out another first touch with that little chest, because the ball was like, I don't know how he's Rutter cuts out and then he chests it, but like well ahead of him, and like goes straight into his path. I thought the balls come off Tariq Lamptey's hand and bounced into his path. No, or am I? No, that was just before.
Oh, so that happens. Then Rutter puts the ball through.
Then they kind of try clearing it. Rutter intercepts the clearance, plays it out to a difficult ball to Matoma.
I was literally watching the game. I don't know what. I don't know what was going on.
It was weird because it was like
Les looked at me like it wasn't a good touch. I mean, I thought it was class touch, straight into his path to let him chip the keeper.
Yeah, it was a good touch, but I was just confused with the way you explained it. Because basically, how I saw it is it was quite high up, so he's basically jumped to chest it, sort of come off his shoulder, upper chest area. But it was a good touch, and it fell straight into his path, and he lobbed the keeper. So good finish again.
Yeah.
Do you not want to explain any more about how chess and the ball works? Because you're both on the camera going like this. Trying to show me how to chess a football.
No, because it was unorthodox, wasn't it? You know what I mean?
It was. It wasn't a traditional chess.
There we go. Traditional chess is mad.
Traditional chess is crazy.
I think on that note, we'll hit the next ad break and we will go to our players that we were impressed by.
This podcast is part of the Global Sports Podcast Network, the only network bringing you exclusive daily news and views on your Premier League team, the Premier League, women's football, and fantasy football. A unique listening experience that puts fans first, bringing you the very latest breaking news from your team. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts and make us your first listen every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network. Every club, every day.
And we are back with the Daily Brighton podcast. And as mentioned, Bless went to the first game that any of us have gone to this season at the ground, which was managed to get tickets, which we all should keep trying to get tickets, because he has gone outside the stadium, interviewed Adam and Reggie, and this is what they thought of the game.
Daily Brighton podcast. I am with Adam, Brighton fan. Brighton just won 2-1 against Chelsea. We're at the Amex at the moment. Adam, what are your thoughts of the game?
Mate, Brighton all the way. How good was it tonight? How good? We showed everything. Solidarity. We showed passion. We showed love. We just showed humility. We are Albion. We are Brighton.
I love that. I love to hear that. We're also with Reggie as well. Obviously, after 7-0 last weekend, how happy are you now?
Very. I can't believe the score today.
And who's your favourite player?
Georginio Rutter.
Yeah, Georginio Rutter. Signing out, Blessings Chibamba. 2-1 win for Brighton up the Seagulls.
And that was Bless after 6 pints, a gammon pie, and a lot of grub, and just before a night out. But yeah, we've got to touch on Reggie's guy. It was Rutter's show, a goal and assist. We praised him already in this podcast, but boy, what a performance he had. I thought one of the things that just stuck out to me is like we said before, just constantly hounding the defenders. I mean, he had one chance in just before half time where he tackled Tosin and then he was like basically through. But no one's kind of supported him to get another goal for us. But that's kind of just shows what he's so capable of. And then even in tight areas, he was good keeping the ball, managed to constantly play out wide to Matoma and Minter, and just all round was an absolute nuisance for the Chelsea defenders, Caicedo as well. And yeah, found those little pockets where he could be effective, which is something we haven't seen lately. I'll say that. Anyone want to go?
Oh mate, you lagged for a bit there, so we didn't know what you were saying.
Sorry, Joe. What do you think?
I think everyone in that clip must have been on. Even the kid might have been on 6 pints, mate. Honestly, I think matey, what's his name? Adam. He sounded like he wanted to give you a kiss, mate. Man said they showed compassion.
He said they showed love as well.
They showed love. What is going on, mate? You're lucky you didn't get lip stuck by Adam, mate. Ritter was class, mate, and like the sort of role that he plays in because it can play across the whole of the sort of like front line. If he's out wide, he picks up really awkward positions for like defenders to pick up because he'll drift inside. If he plays in the middle, he can just appear out in wide positions to sort of support. And like he's just a nuisance to pick up. Also, you feel like as soon as you lose possession, he's going to be biting back at you like almost instantly, which he did like multiple times. He clamped Caicedo a few times, which was class. Didn't get anywhere near the ball, but it was still class regardless. But like it's just this is, as a fan, all you want from your players is basically to essentially like you just want them to work.
Try.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just want to try.
Yeah.
So make it seem like you care. Like
So simple.
if you look at the way that like Nunes is received at Liverpool, like for example, like he barely scores and he's a striker, and the fans basically chant his name almost all the time on Twitter. They're always going on about him all the time. Whereas like loads of other players don't get that sort of reception if you're in that position and you don't score a ton of goals. I think it's been a successful first season for him. And I think that the more that he plays, and I feel like performances like this will sort of make him start more games, and the more he get used to the team and stuff like that. Because obviously new manager, new team, new system, all that stuff, going through a peak time at the moment. Hopefully we see him kick on now.
I think it's also good preparation for like a life after Pedro, because Pedro isn't going to stick around forever, and he's shown many a time this season that he's actually sometimes better than Pedro. He works definitely harder, maybe less technical or maybe less ability, but work rate is most certainly there. The finishing we've seen today is there. And then the ability to get the ball out into those dangerous areas is also there. So I think that's another good thing about Rutter, is it's good to see him like a successor to Pedro. And if we do decide to cash in, if a team does come calling, another player I want to also mention, he's received a lot of criticism on this podcast, but Tariq Lamptey, he's clearly been listening to this podcast. He's taken it on board. He's taken it on the chin. And boy, what a performance, Tariq Lamptey. That deserves all the credit. I've got to say, we have cussed him out last week. Big time. We said he wasn't worth £1 million to Ajax and that he would struggle in that league. He's come back against Pedro Neto, where, I'm not going to lie, the ball kept on going out to him. I did feel a bit bad for him because they were targeting him big time. Pedro Neto was on the ball. That's where all their attacks kind of came from. And he lived up to it. Like, he showed that I might have a bad game here and there, but Joe Richardson, you can shut up on the Daily Brighton podcast because I'm actually decent and I deserve to stay here. Bless. What did you make of him, and what did the fans in the stadium make of his performance?
Yeah, it's quite funny actually, because before kickoff, when I saw that Tariq Lamptey starting, I was speaking to some fans, and I was telling them, he's no good. Like, we need a new left back, and one of them was adamant that Tariq Lamptey is very good. And I was like,
that guy's an idiot.
Have we been watching the same games? Generally, he was like, yeah, he could definitely play for, like a top side in the Premier League.
No.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, mad.
So we spent 10 minutes him trying to convince me. And I'm like, no, did you not watch the Forest game? And he's like, yeah, that was just a one-off.
No, what's in those pies that you lot were eating, mate? Because my guy is chatting a was, mate. That is absolute cap.
It did not help my case that Tariq Lamptey just come out and performed the way he did. And I think I know we spoke about Rutter as our man in the match. I thought Rutter was man in the match, but I think Lamptey was ITV's man in the match.
Yeah.
So
he was confirmed. Yeah, he was confirmed.
He was very good, and I had to sort of eat some humble pie at the end.
Or some chicken and gammon pie.
Free.
Are you going to come to me? Or
yeah.
Can I just go? Yeah, he's still rubbish, mate. I'm not gonna lie. Let's not sugarcoat it, mate. Honestly,
true. Praise where praise is due. Come on.
Yeah, I know. That's funny. The funny thing is that I said that as well. I said I don't mind changing my opinion on a player, but it has only been one game, and also he still showed those like bits of his game where he's just an idiot. Like there was a bit quite early on actually, and I feel like it was Pedro Neto actually that had the space to run into, but he's just tried to press the ball in the most stupid position, and he's just been bypassing like 2 passes. But I am going to actually praise him and say that I think he done a good job against Madueke, even though I think Madueke is garbage. And Pedro Neto's knees are made of crispy bacon, mate. But I still think that like they're very direct wingers. They're going to just go at you and go at you and go at you until you basically get sick of it and eventually let them get past you like once. And The thing is that I feel like his profile as a left back or right back, whatever, his as a fullback is very suited to those sort of players because Lamptey's rapid. He also is very tenacious. I think that also comes as like a bit of a it's a bit of a boon against him as well at the same time. But like he's very tenacious, so it does sort of work for him. But he was very, very good, to be fair. Not very, very good. I think his cap. He was good, basically.
Yeah. I think you mentioned there, like he was man of the match for ITV, and I think he did put in one of the better performances of anyone on the pitch. To be fair, in my personal opinion, but like you say, he still wasn't faultless. It was that point that you're alluding to, Joe, where he was beaten 4 minutes in. And that's kind of where I jotted it down. It was 4 minutes in.
Yeah.
He just decided to sprint at Neto. Neto just does him with a dummy on the halfway line. And then he's way out of position. And they're 3-on-2. And it's like, that's when I was kind of thinking, oh, not again. I can't believe we've let Tariq Lamptey come onto the pitch. But then he really did buck up his ideas. And then he was solid, like, in terms of tackling, in terms of getting the ball up the pitch as well. But my fault, it still is there. My fault with him and my problem with him playing fullback, and this is coming from someone that is also 5'6", it's the balls are so easy to get to the winger because they just play a lofted ball over him and he can't win a header. Send the wingers 1v1 on him the whole time. And that happens so often. And it's like, at this level, because the Premier League players can just pick a pass, like, to pinpoint the opposition's feet. It's like that just happens over and over and over again. And that's why he was targeted so much. So you could see Chelsea were clearly thinking, nice. Like even late on in the game when Madueke was in, they were like, oh yeah, still carry on running at Tariq Lamptey. I don't care if he's having the best game of his life. He's still prone to a mistake. It's still easy to get the ball out to him. And that's kind of my problem with him. But credit where credit is due. He proved us wrong. We have to eat some humble pie. What a performance it was from him. Any other stars or standout performances that you guys saw quickly?
Yeah, I've got one. Shout out to Gomez. I thought when he came on, he was actually pretty good.
He was class,
Looks a bit like a Yari as well. I was like, Marinovisioning. But yeah, he looked after the ball really well and got about the pitch.
Sorry, my one's Minte. Minte is potentially a better right back than Tariq Lamptey. I'm not gonna lie. That defensive work that he puts in is insane. Would be lovely if down the other end he's giving a little bit. Just give me something, mate. Like I feel like he's dangerous, but like it's just I feel like when he gets into those dangerous positions, he makes the wrong decisions. That could be fixed, to be fair. But yeah, I think the defensive work he puts in, mate, he's always there, always back. And to be fair, mate, like the timing of his tackling and stuff is actually pretty elite for a winger. Obviously, not probably what he wants to hear. Listen, Minte, you're sick as a right back, but as a winger. But like, I think him and Gomez would have been my two, to be fair.
Yeah,
where's Wiffer? Where is Wiffer? On
I don't want to see him, especially with
Gomez start
looking for performing like he did.
Did you find him, Bless?
No.
You heard it here first, mate.
He's out in Brighton. He's out in Brighton with Bless. In the bars. But I'm glad you two brought up those. What was that?
I'd be fuming if I saw him out.
To get on the training pitch if you do see him out. Oh, that'd be. But yeah, I'm glad you actually mentioned those because those are the two that I jotted down. Gomez, when he came on, he looks very. And Beth, bless you, were cussing him out against Nottingham Forest. I said, I see something there. You know, the game got better, even though we lost 4-0 in the second half when him and O'Reilly came on. And he just needs to play like he did today and show flashes. And yeah, Minter's defense, I've actually got it in caps here. Minter's defense. Like, you know, the NFL chants or the NBA chants. Defense.
I can't believe he's actually. What's going on?
Yeah, that's
We didn't know the chance, so you had to do it, Joe. But.
Yeah, they literally have the same chant for every team in every league, in every sport in America. It's the
and
same
you guys
thing.
couldn't join in on me, so you just left me out to dry. But yeah, brilliant. He's always there to help out Veltman. It's so good. Like, he's class. And you talk about decision making. He was the one that played it out to Veltman for the first goal. He attracted to and then passed it, laid it back off to Veltman for the unbelievable.
Let's not cap. He's literally turned around and passed it forward.
Yeah,
I know. He could have been stupid and run at them and then lost the ball. I mean, but
I guess
didn't.
it's also true, yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, you are also right. It was a 3-yard pass. I could have But what an amazing
Jadon Sancho standing there. Jadon Sancho is literally fat, mate, so he's not getting out there. Do you know what I mean? So Kenton where it started.
But yeah, what an amazing Brighton win. I've said it before, Liverpool are out now. Arsenal are out. Someone else, Spurs are out.
Southampton.
And someone else missing are also out. So we could go far in this competition. Let's bring home the FA Cup. Let's get that Europa League competition secured via the FA Cup. That's my thinking. Let's do it. Up the Brighton, and see you next time.
Every club, every day. The Global Sports Podcast Network.